Okay, this should go by pretty fast. We only have 3 more chords to cover in Lydian, and so I don't want to waste a lot of time on this because in the next one we'll go over in various uses, historic uses and whatnot, and modern uses, and just ways to kind of like supplement this. So we left off with the I don't remember which chord we actually left off. We did the first 4, I believe. We did the 1, 2, 3, and 7, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and start with the 6th chord. Let's just use it in a really simple fashion. Something really easy, like gives Lydian again a little bit more of a sentimental feeling the way I just executed it. So about Lydian 1, a 3, a 6, Lydian 1, and just kept repeating that. The way I would probably use something like this is kind of like a transition from something else, just to show, like here. This is the Lydian section. So, and I may modulate out again. This is so I'm actually going to stop. So I used it as a transition period, then I modulated out, and I'm not going to explain the transition or the modulation in, just remember where that happened. We're going to give it kind of an energy feel. Which would sound much better, faster, slightly faster. So, and since I'm not a keyboard, I'm not going to try to play that fast. I'm coming up with ideas on the spot. So we just basically did a 1, a 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 2, and then you could go back to your 1 and repeat that sequence. Okay, a lot of passing tones and stuff. So like that, I was just passing him using double passing tones and stuff on the 1 chord. So yeah, let's go 1 and the 5. The 5 is actually the same as a major 5, so this makes it kind of a chord that's probably going to work. A melody I could remember, I did this a while ago. It was actually a theme for something very Lydian, just between the 1 of Lydian and then the 5 and then the 3, and then it repeated. And this is actually a very simplified version because I had it orchestrated and there was a bunch of contrapuntal things happening underneath it. So, and it was also a transitional. It was a theme that happened in between transitions. Okay. It's basically just a 1 and a 5, a 1 and a 3. So it's not slightly as uplifting as like 1 and 2 of Lydian. So you notice Lydian has these little things that are not as uplifting as, let's say, the alternation between 1 and 2. So slightly sad sound to it. So let's do something like that. Do something like this. Then you could repeat it. So using an inversion on the 5 chord and a suspension on the 2 chord. Just a 1, a 5 first inversion, a 6, 1, 5 first inversion, 2 suspension. It had actually a sus4 suspension. So that's the basic outline. Okay. So I might approach that riff in some way as like here. So interestingly enough, I started out with an F major kind of resolution, but instead I went to F Lydian. And then maybe repeat it. So we're just creating really simple ideas without trying to create the best thing in the world, just to get used to using these chords from Lydian. And then you could go into it, or you can modulate out. I'm just trying to give you ideas of what you can do with these things. So the diminished chord, they always say the no chord. Well, it does. You could get it to work. You could use it like as a chord that goes in between the 5 chord, the diminished 4, I'm sorry, to the 5 chord, and it works fine as long as you don't. You almost kind of to mask it. Like I'll do it like this. So I sort of masked it. I masked it with the first inversion of it. Go 2 Lydian, 1 pedal point, 4 first inversion, 5 Lydian note, and then 1. So it's kind of masked in there. I'm not saying this is a chord you're going to use all the time. I'm just saying it's usable. So I'll use it in this. I'll use it here, and so it's usable. And all I did was a 1. Well, let me see. 1, 2 with a pedal point, very common. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I mean, you could use it. Just use your ear, your judgment. So let's move on to the next video. We'll discuss techniques like this, like kind of having a texture untexture kind of feel. This like the Debussy type approaches and whatnot. That was actually a riff from a riff. I always use the word riff. I part from a piece of music I had done a while ago, and we'll go through a bunch of methods like this: parallel chords, historic uses, examples from other, famous examples from movies or something, and we'll just go through a couple of those in the next one just to show you various uses. I don't think Lydian's going to be very helpful in like if you're going to do like hip hop, because it's just not dark enough. Maybe that's the best word to we'll cover that later. Okay, take care.